Hi everybody, this is Pastor Kerry with another Lift Moment. I want to talk to you about a culture of generosity. And I start by telling you about an Aesop's fable where a king was touring his own domain and villages. He had his entourage with him. He came upon a beggar on the side of the road. The beggar extended his hand to the king, who in turn puts a few gold coins in the beggar's hand. One of his advisors quickly interrupted him by saying, "O king, copper coins is appropriate for beggars." And the king quickly replied by saying, "That may be true, but gold is the appropriate gift from a king." The lesson from this story is pretty obvious. The gift reflects the heart of the giver. When you consider John 3:16, the crown text of the Bible, God so loved he gave. His gift of his son is a reflection of really who he is as the King of all kings. So in order to develop a culture of generosity, we must first determine our own heart and motive, since giving comes from the heart. And we can be generous with words, generous with acts of kindness, or even monetary generosity. Many examples in Scripture showing we are being measured by our generosity by the things we do and acts that we give. Things that are measured, for instance, in Matthew 25:14, there's a parable of the talents, and there's really a story of relationship to the one who invested in the servants. He gave each one according to their abilities. Their ability was measured probably on past experiences and how they handled money in the past. Matthew 7:2 says we're measured by even how we forgive. If we don't forgive, then we're not forgiven. So we're measured by that. Again, Mark 4:24, we're measured by how we hear. He said to them, "Take heed, what you hear, with the same measure you hear, it'll be measured back to you. And to you who hear, more will be given." Then again in Revelation 11, verse 1, worship is even measured. He says, "Then I was given a reed like a measuring rod, and the angel stood saying, 'Rise and measure the temple of God, the altar and those who worship therein.'" It's interesting that even worship is being measured at that point. The purpose of measuring is not just for judgment, but also for reward. Don't be offended by being measured by the Lord, because he has rewards and his reward is coming soon. So I just want to pray with you right now that you will be found faithful in all the measurement that God puts out to us and developing a generosity in our culture. So Father, I just pray for every person here, whether it's through the church or a personal family or individually, God, that you would give us a heart that is generous with loving kindness, generous with giving acts of kindness, generous with even giving to the poor, and generous in honoring you with our substance. So I just pray that there would be an anointing upon all of us to have a generosity culture and starting in our own hearts. Until next time, this is Pastor Kerry saying, have a good week.